Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hello, my name's Ella, welcome. And today's video is going to be all about my most recent search for a 2-bedroom flat to rent in London with my boyfriend. This video is going to include videos of all 6, I think, of the properties that we've seen, include the prices of them, and include the property that we actually ended up getting for a really good deal, but I'll save that bit until the end. So we've been currently living in our flat for a year, just over a year at this point. It's a lovely flat, but it's riddled with problems. It's above a shop, so it's really loud in the morning. It's on a main road, so it's really loud constantly. You can't open your window without there just being like the constant sound of noise. It has got problems with its drains, and the agency and the landlord isn't very responsive to a lot of these problems. All in all, it's just been a bit of a bugger to live in, and although it looks nice, the foundations are really not there. We got it for a really good deal. So for a 1-bed in North London, we're currently paying £1,150 a month, which for non-Londoners, you're probably going to be like, that's a lot, but for London that's actually quite a good deal. And we are looking for now a 2-bed in the same area. So we're looking in the areas around Crouch End, Haringey, Wood Green, Turnpike Lane, but more towards like the Crouch Endy side if possible, Hornsey, edging towards Crouch Hill, Finsbury Park, but that sort of area for those of you who are around here, just to let you know. And we wanted to get a 2-bed because not only have we found that living on a main road is not what we want really, but also a 1-bed is just not enough space for us. We need a bit more space. Johan works from home a lot of the time doing video editing. I'm an actress and I do a lot of self-tapes and stuff from home as well, and it's just nice to have a room dedicated to all of that stuff. So our budget was, well, it was 1,300, and then we quite quickly realised that that was not realistic for the areas that we were looking in and the type of property that we wanted. And so the maximum that we could have possibly paid, which we did offer to one flat because there was only one flat that we thought was worth it and more actually, was 1,500 between us per month, not including bills. So all of these properties are within that 1,300, 1,500 region. Some of the must-haves that we needed, we wanted it to be spacious and bright. We're so used to having so many windows in our current flat, and we really like seeing daylight as much as possible, so as many windows as possible. Wooden flooring wasn't a must-have, but it would be quite nice. A bath for me was an absolute must-have. It really helps me with pains if I'm in pain, or if I just need to relax. So honestly, I have a bath whether I'm happy, sad, whatever. I just need to have a bath. And location. We wanted it in this area because there are so many green areas all around. So although having a garden would have been really nice, it wasn't a must-have because the area that we're living in has got so many options for greenery. So just being around this area was another must-have really. Now saying that, let me get on to the first property that we viewed. This one was around the Crouch End area. All of them are actually, so I don't need to keep repeating that. And it was up for £1,500 a month and was a 2-bedroom flat on the first floor of a period property. So you'd have somebody above you and somebody below you. So let's get on to the video of flat number 1. So the first flat was on the first floor of this gorgeous period property on a really quiet residential street. You walk in to the hallway, and to your right was the living room. 2 windows in the living room, a decent space on the smaller side, but really nice, and it had a nice fireplace. A little open plan sort of style kitchen area, so there wasn't a separate room, but it was almost separate. And the kitchen was nice enough, like nice new tiles. It was spacious, way more storage than what we currently have in our current kitchen. And there was a massive fridge and also a space next to the fridge where you could probably have chairs and tables for dining. walking around back through the living room into the hallway, and this is the spare bedroom. So it's the office, what we would use as our office room. Really nice, spacious, the biggest office area out of all of the flats that we'd seen, and it looked out onto these really nice residential gardens, which is nice. The hallway was quite narrow, which made it feel quite claustrophobic in a way. Got a storage cupboard there, so that's handy. Always good to have a bit of storage. The bathroom was okay. It had a bath, but the window was facing a wall, so it was quite dark and dingy feeling. Not the end of the world. Better to have a window than no window at all, but it could have been nicer. You could definitely spruce it up with some plants and make it look much nicer though. And it was a good size. And finally, going into the master bedroom. I really like the master bedroom. I like the stairs down into it. I thought that was a good touch. And it's a nice size, and again, looks out onto these lovely gardens, so it felt really quiet and peaceful. So as you can see, I quite liked flat number 1. We did put in an offer. We put in an offer for $1,300. Obviously quite a lot below the asking price, but we were quite good with offering lower because I just don't think it was worth £1,500, no matter where it is really. Like, it was a lovely flat. I would have lived there, but I wouldn't have paid that much for somewhere without a garden. And our offer didn't get accepted. We were kind of waiting around. To be honest, like, they still haven't properly got back to us, but it wasn't accepted. We did go up to $1,350 for this one and still wasn't accepted. On to the next flat. Okay, so this was the second property that we viewed. This one was on a really quiet residential street and was part of a house, and you actually got the stairs included in the first floor flat, which I thought was a really nice touch because it made it feel so spacious. This hallway is massive. It is so big for a 2-bedroom flat. As you can see, it's so bright and light, so many windows in the living room with a lovely fireplace and those high ceilings, which we both really like. Love all those period features. A bit of storage in the hallway, which is always handy. And then the kitchen had wood floors, and I really loved this kitchen. It looked really fresh and new, had loads of storage space, a nice size fridge, you know, a standing fridge. You don't have to kneel down on your knees all the time. And it just looked really fresh and lovely. Really bright as well. And there's room for a table in the kitchen, which is always a plus. Onto the bathroom. Now, the bathroom was nice enough. Again, had a nice big bath. Nothing crazy, but it definitely could be made a lot nicer. It had a big window, which was a plus. A lot of the flats that I was looking at didn't have bathrooms in the window at all, so I can definitely appreciate a big bathroom window. Onto the spare bedroom, which is small, very small. Luckily, we would only want to use it as an office anyway, but even still, it's quite a small size. We definitely have to figure out how to work out storage there. And this is the master bedroom, looks out onto these gorgeous gardens, loads of windows, a nice size, and is just really peaceful and lovely. So this flat I absolutely loved, and so did Johan. Johan didn't come with me to view the first one, but we both went to see this one together and really, really liked it. It's so spacious, it's really airy. That massive hallway just makes it feel so much bigger than it is, and it was on a really lovely residential street. Really quiet, backed onto gardens. The bedroom was facing gardens. It was just lovely. This flat, I had my eye on it on Rightmove when it was up for 1,600, and that was way out of budget, but I was like, oh, that's nice. And then it was reduced to 1,500, and so I thought, let's just have a viewing and see if we can like get it down to where our budget is. You know, you never know. Don't know unless you try. And then, so we had the viewing. We did put an offer in for 1,300. And it was a no. It was a solid no from the agent. We increased it to 1,350, and I don't even think he put the offer forward to the landlord because he was just not having any of it. So on to property number 3. This was the third property. We actually viewed it straight after we'd seen the previous one, and it had an interesting layout, as in you went up the stairs to get to the flat and then back down the stairs to get to a little garden area, a storage cupboard on your right as you come up the stairs, a big bathroom with a toilet really, really close to the wall, which is a little bit odd, and generally all of the features in this property, it was so old-fashioned and outdated. The carpets were really grubby, the main bedroom was quite small, it had a little bit of built-in storage, which is handy, but it all just felt really, really outdated and old, and like it needed a bit of sprucing up. Like, for the price that it was put up onto the market as, it was not worth that amount of money. Going down the stairs into the little, or just having a look at the little garden area, it's nice enough, it's small, it's quite cramped next to the other two gardens, so you do feel like quite on top of your neighbours, but it's nice to have a garden space at least. Through to the kitchen, which honestly is just not nice at all. Like, it's so outdated. There's about 3 cupboards that you can use, no drawers, not really big enough to fit a table comfortably, and just very outdated and old-fashioned. The spare bedroom was small and the wooden floors were of really bad quality. Definitely needed a bit of TLC. And the living room, again, I was so shocked to see how much smaller the living room looked in real life versus the photos advertised. It's on a lovely residential road, but honestly, we would not have paid this much for this property. The third place we saw straight after the previous one, up for the same price, and it was nowhere near as nice. I hope you can tell from the video. It was just really grubby. The carpets were not very nice. It was really old-fashioned. The kitchen had maybe 2 or 3 cupboards and a really old-fashioned hob, and it was just not, it was not kept up to date at all. I think apparently the landlady had just got it and wasn't planning on doing basically any work to it, and was just trying to sell it or rent it out for £1,500 a month, which is way too much for that property. Just way too much. That's London for you, but we were not going to be offering that. And to be honest, we didn't really even want to live in it for any less, so we did not put an offer in this flat. I think the agent asked us how much we would be willing to pay, you know, if we were to put in an offer, and I think we said we wouldn't want to pay any more than £1,200 for that property. No offence, it had so much potential, which is why we went to view it, but the photos looked much better than it did in real life, and it just needed some updating and a bit of TLC, and until that happened, we didn't want to live there. The next property was a dream flat, an absolute dream. It was up for such a bargain. I still can't believe how much it was up for. It was up for £1,500, the same as the previous 2 flats, and it was incredible. Let me just show you the video because I fell head over heels in love with this flat. Moving on to the next property. This one was unreal. I'm starting out in the garden. This is the garden. Are you joking? To find a garden that big and a property this nice for this price in the area that we were looking at is so unheard of. It's got a really open plan feel. So I'll start out at the entrance. This is the lovely entrance area. There's another flat that lives upstairs, and you walk straight into the kitchen, which is brand new and fresh. It had a dishwasher. It had loads of storage, and just is such a lovely kitchen, really social area. Then into the living room, which was massive and looked out onto the front garden. I'm really sorry if you can hear my cat meowing in the background. We're just going to ignore that. Onto the lovely street that this house was set on. Honestly, I couldn't believe this flat. I was just walking around it, falling in love with it. It was unreal. That side door goes onto like a little side entrance. A second toilet. I can't believe this flat. A storage cupboard, and then through to the bathroom, which is gorgeous. What a lovely bath. You could do so much with this, make it look so nice. Into the bedroom, which is a really nice size, and had these stained glass windows, which are just such a nice touch. Look at that. So beautiful. And then out from the bedroom to your left is the second bedroom, or the office, which leads straight out onto the garden. So this was the only property that we put in a offer of the asking price. So we put in an offer of £1,500 just because we thought it was worth that and more. We could only afford £1,500, otherwise we might have even offered a bit more. And our offer was not accepted. No, not accepted. The other people, prospective tenants, that viewed the flat, I think somebody else had offered way above asking price with a hefty deposit and a 2-year contract. Obviously, I just wish we would have thought to offer something else, because it was such a bargain. I could honestly see myself living there for like the foreseeable future. I was heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken at the fact that we didn't get this property, and I felt like I was properly manifesting it as well. Like, I really thought this property was going to be ours, and alas, we didn't get it. Absolutely gutted, but then we had to get on with the house hunt, which at this point I was feeling pretty sad about it, because I knew there was not going to be a flat that I loved as much as this one that was going to be within our price range, and so it just felt like I was going to view flats that just were never going to live up to this previous flat, but I had to keep going, so off we went to our next viewing. So once I'd got over my heartbreak, we went to this next viewing, which was a flat above a shop, but it was huge. Lovely kitchen area, small, but I just really love the colour and how many windows are in this property. It's so big and bright and spacious. This is the kitchen. This is just the kitchen. To have that much of a dining area and that much space in a kitchen is so unusual. The bathroom, again, it's okay, but really spacious. It had a nice bath and it was nice enough. Quite a small window, but that's fine. Better than no window at all. The only thing is with this flat, it did look like there was a few things that needed touching up. The carpets could have done with replacing. They were a bit grubby. This was the first bedroom. Both the bedrooms were a really good size. Like I said, this flat is just massive. A nice storage cupboard in the hallway, and I really liked that it had these little steps separating the two areas of the flat. It makes it feel even more spacious. Second bedroom or office, whichever way round you'd like it. And here I'm just showing you they've got secondary glazing on all of the windows, which is what we've got in our bedrooms right now, and it does block out a lot of the sound from that busy road down there, but you wouldn't be able to open your windows in the summer without it being just so loud, we didn't really want that. That's what we've got right now. It kind of let this flat down, the fact that it is on a main road. All in all, it's a really nice flat. It could have done with a little bit of touching up, a little bit of TLC, but we decided we didn't put an offer in on this flat. So as I mentioned, we didn't put an offer in for this flat for £1,500. We didn't put an offer in at all, just because we figured we didn't want to live above a busy road again. Like, it would be silly to really not be enjoying that right now and then be moving to somewhere that had the same problem. So we didn't go for that one in the end. However lovely it was, there were some problems and it just wasn't for us. So on to the final viewing. And after I show you this video, I'll let you know which one of the flats we actually ended up getting. Maybe comment down below, let me know which one you think we got, and I'll show you the next video now. So for the final flat, we start outside. It had a nice bit of outside area, although it wasn't particularly green. It was just a patio, sort of pavement garden, but better than having no garden at all. Had a little alleyway, which would be really good to store bikes and stuff. All in all, though, this flat was very plain looking. It didn't have any of the period features that we really love. This is the living room area, although it's really small for a living room. The bathroom and the kitchen were both really nice standard. They both seemed quite new, quite spacious as well for a 2-bed, although the grey flooring, it's just not really our style quite so much. However nice it is, it just wasn't really speaking to us. There's space to fit a table in the kitchen if you would want to do that, and the kitchen generally looked really nice and really new and fresh, and it had a big fridge, up to a really nice standard, but the general layout of the flat had a little bit of storage down below these stairs as well. The general layout, though, it didn't have very much character, which is something we really look for. This is a really nice spacious second bedroom, or you could swap around the living room and bedroom if you'd like to. Because this is the first bedroom, and then the second bedroom is just round here to the right. Although this feels like it should be more of a living room for me, just because of the layout, but generally we were not blown away, and we did not put an offer in on this flat. So again, with that flat, we were not fussed. The features weren't really standing out to us. It felt a little bit sterile and boring, really, compared to some of the other flats that we'd seen. Definitely would be some people's style 100%, but for us it just was not worth the money. It was also in a bit of a less green area. It was right near the railway, which is fine, but I feel like you could probably even hear trains coming and going from the flat. It was that close, and just generally wasn't our cup of tea. Nice enough, but we didn't put an offer in for that one. But what we did do is, so this was maybe 2.5 months after I started looking, and we noticed that one of the flats was still available on the market. One of the flats that we really loved. And no, it wasn't the dream one with the garden, but it was flat number 2, which we absolutely loved, and it was still available. And so I just had this urge to contact the agent again and be like, hey. Hi. Hey. Hi.
How y'all doing?
Still here, still available, still really like the flat. Fancy giving it to us. So we did. We messaged the agent and was like, hi, can you put our offer forward to the landlord? We're still available and we still really like the flat. And I think he didn't put our previous offer forward at all because it was so much lower than the asking price. But having had the property been up for so long, and clearly not had anyone give the asking price, I guess he was more willing to now. So he spoke to the landlord, gave him the offer of our offer, which was 1,350, and came back to us and asked if we were willing to negotiate, and we settled on £1,375 a month for flat number 2. Go back and look at it. It's a really lovely flat, and for those of you who are not in London, trust me, it's a really good deal. For those of you who are in London, you might appreciate the fact that it's a really good deal. I'm so excited to be moving there. We got it. It's all secured. We move at the end of this month. I feel so lucky because the previous tenants, apparently, if I'm to trust this agent, were paying 1,720 for this flat. I know for sure it was put up for 1,600 because I saw it. And so to get it for 1,375 for a 2-bed, lovely flat on a really nice street in a really nice area is such a bargain. Feeling very happy. So glad that my house hunt is over with for now. And I hope we can live in this next place for a little longer than a year. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. And it can be a more permanent solution to our housing crisis. But I feel very lucky that we were looking in 2021, just because I feel like there's less demand for properties at the moment, meaning that you can kind of get a good deal if you're looking for rent. If you're looking to rent a flat in London right now, it's kind of a good market out there. So good luck if you're on your own house hunt. If you're not, I hope you found this interesting anyway. Give you a little insight into current London prices. And yeah, I will be making more moving related content over the next couple of weeks, and I'll give you a flat tour once everything's kind of done. That might take a while, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. What was your favourite? I mean, I know what my favourite was, but the one that we got was a very close second, and I'm very grateful and happy to be living there. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.